Okay, so we're going to start with question number 7 on the back. It says to set up and solve the systems of equations to solve the problem. So question number 7 says a bucket contains N nickels and D dimes. There are 15 coins total in the bucket and a total of $1 in the bucket. And $1 in the bucket. How many dimes are in the bucket? No, sorry, how many nickels and how many dimes are in the bucket? So how many total do we have? If I took the number of nickels and the number of dimes, how many total should I have? 15. So if I took N being the number of nickels plus D being the number of dimes, I should have a total of 15, right? And then if I have $1, well, how much is each nickel worth? 5 cents. How do you write 5 cents as a decimal? So 0.05 N plus, how do you write dimes as a decimal? 0.01 D equals a total of $1. Okay, so here's my system of equations. Do you guys want to solve this by substitution or elimination? Elimination, you want to multiply, so what do you want to multiply by? 0.05 or 0.1? 0.1? Okay. So I'm going to multiply this equation by, and I have to do a negative 0.1 in order to get opposite signs, right? I need a negative here since there's a positive here. So if I'm doing this by elimination and I distribute, my new equation is going to be negative 0.1 N minus 0.1 D equals, what's 15 times 0.1? Negative 1.5. So do these have opposite signs? I've got a positive 0.1 and a negative 0.1. Do I have opposite coefficients? Yeah, opposite signs and opposite coefficients. So good. So now these will eliminate. And I have 0.05 minus 0.1. 0.05, right? N equals $1 minus $1.50 is what? 0.5. And now I'm solving for N. So what do I need to divide by? Negative 0.05 to both sides. Negative 0.05, right? And luckily we have calculators, so we go negative 0.5 divided by negative 0.05 is what? N equals 10. So you're dividing 50 cents by how many nickels? How many nickels are in 50 cents? 10. So if I have 10 nickels, you have 5 dimes, right? We're just thinking logically here. 15 coins total, and I know there's 10 nickels. That means there has to be 5 dimes. Okay. The other way I could have done it is I could have plugged it back into this equation here, right? I had 10 nickels plus how many dimes equals 15. And if I subtracted 10, I would get D equals 5. Does that make sense? Okay. Number 8. Number 8, if I'm looking at our worksheet, says Jack and Leah each planted grass, sod, and shrubs in their yards. They bought their supplies from the same store. Jack spent $56 on 1 foot of grass, sod, and 7 shrubs. So let's say Jack spent, how much did he spend? $56 okay, on 1 yard of sod and 7 shrubs. We'll get there in 1 second. Hold on. Leah spent $28, so let's write down what we got for her. Leah spent $28 on 1 foot of grass sod, so 1... Oh, it's not yards, it's a foot. Yep, I gotta fix that. Sorry, right here, it was 1 square foot. And here it was 1 square foot. Sorry about that. So 1 square foot of sod. And how many shrubs did Leah buy? Okay. And 3 shrubs. So give me some variables you want to use for these. What did they purchase? Grass and shrubs. So you want to use G and S? Okay. So G is going to be the grass sod. And S is going to be shrubs. Okay. So let's write an equation for Jack. How much total did he spend? $56. So $56 was equal to, how many sod did he buy? Grass sod? 1, right? 1 foot of grass sod. So 1 G, and then how many shrubs? Plus 7 S. Okay. How about Leah? Leah spent $28 on how many grass sods? 1. And how many shrubs? 3 shrubs. So here's my system of equations. Do you guys want to use substitution or elimination? Elimination. I really want to use elimination here because I see 1G and 1G, and don't I just need opposite coefficients? Good. So if I multiply by a negative here to this whole equation, and then I add these equations, 56 minus 28, 28. So 28 equals, and then these eliminate because 1G minus 1G is nothing, 0, right? And 7S minus 3S is 4S. So good. If I divide both sides by 4 to solve for the shrubs, I'm going to get S equals 7. So what are we talking about? Dollars. So I should have been a little bit more specific here when we defined S. I should have said cost of shrubs, right? So S right here is $7. Okay. And now if I plug that into one of my equations, which I have 56 equals 1G plus 7 times 7, I can solve for G. So 56 equals G plus 49. Good, subtract 49. What's 56 minus 49? 7? 7. So 1 square foot of sod cost how much? $7. Yep. Any questions? Okay, so the last one that I want to go over with you is number 10. Number 10 says, 2 different moms want to hire you to watch their kid. Below is what they are offering. So I'm going to make a quick chart here. So this is the number of hours. This is mom 1, and this is mom 2. So the information given to us is if you work 1 hour, 3 hours, or 6 hours, mom 1 will pay you 13, 23, or 38. 16 for mom 2, 19, or 22. Okay. And remember, our directions for this was set up a system of equations and then solve it. So how can we do this? How can we find an equation of a line for this? Graphing. What do you mean? Plot all these points? Okay. Okay, so he's saying the hours you work to the money you get. So can we say that Y is the total money you make? Okay. And that would mean X is the, what was it? The hours you work. So in some sense, he's saying this is X, right? Because those are the hours you work. And this is Y for mom 1, right? And this would be the Y for mom 2. So if I made two separate T-charts, wouldn't this be one T-chart? And then the other T-chart would be, what is that, 16, 19, 22, 1, 3, 6, where this is hours and this is mom 2. Oops. So I have two different T-charts here. Can I write a system of equations with this? Yeah. For both of these, what do I have to find if I'm plugging this into y equals mx plus b? The slope, right? I have to be able to find that slope. So let's say for mom 1, let's set up the slope formula. Remember, it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So what's my y2? 23 minus, what's my y1? 13. And then on bottom I have what? 3 minus 1. So 23 minus 13 is 10. 3 minus 1 is 2. So how much money do you make an hour with mom 1? $5. Okay? So mom 1, I have y equals $5 per hour. How do we find what the initial amount is that she gives you? Can we do this a little logically? If you make $13 for working 1 hour, you know you got $5 for that hour, plus how much else did she give you? What was the initial amount she gave you? She gave you 13 for the whole hour. 8. Right? You made $13. 5 was because you worked 1 hour, so 8 has to be that initial amount that she gave you. Okay? If it doesn't make sense how we got the 8, then you would plug it into, you could try like y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And we could solve this, and we would have y minus 13 equals 5x minus 5. Add the 13 over, and you would get y equals 5x plus 8. You see that? Okay. So that's just for mom 1. I have y equals 5x plus 8. For mom 2, here's my T-chart for mom 2. Let's find my slope. So y2 is 19, y1 is 16, and again I have 3 minus 1 on bottom. So what's that? 19 minus 6 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. So how much money do you make an hour with mom 2? What's 3 divided by 2? 1.5. So you make $1.50 per hour with mom 1. I'm sorry, mom 2. So I have y equals 1.5x plus, we have to find this. So if you make $16 for that first hour, and you know $1.50 of it was your hourly rate, how much did you make? What is that, 14.5 initially? Y equals 1.5x plus 14.5. So do a system of equations to solve this here, or set them equal to each other, right?